guys, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we are going to be doing a life update video, and this one is going to be kind of bittersweet for me to talk to you guys about, just about things that have changed in my life. It's gonna be gnarly to talk about. I'm gonna go into like the nitty-gritty details about everything that's been going on. I haven't done a life update in quite a long time, and I've been putting this off for so long because it is gonna be a little emotional for me to talk about, because as you can tell by the title, the quitting my job, that's a big thing, and that's something that I am gonna be talking about, and it's very bittersweet for me. So, but yeah, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about a whole bunch of other stuff that's been going on in my life. And I am going to be doing makeup today. I'm not gonna be talking about what I'm gonna be using on my face and on my eyes. I just wanna sit here and talk to you guys and do my makeup. I don't really wanna talk about the products. I really want this to be like a full-on focused life update. If I seem a little out of it, I am. I don't really feel that great today. My stomach's a little upset and I feel another headache coming on. I've had a headache every day for like the past week, so I'm not feeling the best, but you know, I'm hoping once I start putting makeup on, I'll, you know, start to feel a little bit better. The only thing that I will say that we are doing today is that we are going to be doing like a monochromatic eye look today. I'm in like the spooky fall season, so as you can tell by my background, my nails, everything, we're going to be doing an orange eyeshadow look today. So that's really all I'm going to say, but the rest of it, I'm just going to be putting on my makeup and talking to you guys. So if you guys are willing to hang out with me, listen to me talk, you know, get deep and down into what's been going on in my life and the changes, then let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to remove my nose piercings just so I can put on my foundation, because I hate getting foundation all over my piercings. So I am going to remove those just for the, you know, beginning portion of this video. Wow, okay, so let's just go ahead and just dive right into this. So the very first thing that I'm gonna talk about is quitting my job. Now, for those of you who, I'm sure many of you know, but maybe some of you don't, I'm not really sure, but I had a job working as a barista at a coffee shop. I was there for 5.5 years, and I was never very, when I first got the job, the only thing I ever said about it was I work in a coffee shop. That's all I said. I never said where. I never said like what coffee shop chain. And the reason for that, there really wasn't, you know, any like big specific reason, but I just wanted to keep my, you know, my W-2 job, I guess you could say. I wanted to keep that as private as possible. I didn't ever want to mix YouTube and my job together, because to me they were two very separate things, and they were two things that I really liked, and I just really wanted that privacy. But since I, you know, have quit, you know, I'm more willing to talk about it and be open about it. So for the last 5.5 years, I was a barista at Big B Coffee. I can't believe I'm saying that on camera, because I was always so private about it, but I was a barista at Big B Coffee for 5.5 years. I got hired in May of 2015, so it's been a hot minute. I literally went from not having a job, I've never had a job before, I was just doing YouTube, and Big B Coffee was my very first job. I remember in the town that I was living in, I was out taking a walk, and I saw that they were building a brand new Big B Coffee location in the spring of 2015. And I was at a point in my life where, you know, things were changing for me in many different ways, like my living situation. And I wanted to have a job, because I never had a job before, and I really wanted to get, you know, that sort of experience. Like I wanted to really get out there into the world, I guess. So, and back in those days, I was not a coffee drinker. I knew nothing about coffee. I didn't like coffee. I never drank coffee. But I figured, you know what? We're just gonna do this, and we're gonna see where it takes me. We're gonna see how it goes. I could absolutely hate it and, you know, not work there, but yeah, we're gonna do it. So I ended up applying, and I got a call right away to come in for an interview. And I remember back in the day, I did a whole like job interview get ready with me, like way back in the day. So yes, I went to my interview, I got the job, I was super nervous, I started training right away for it, and I know a lot of you were like, training for a coffee shop job, like that's weird. I thought it was weird too because, you know, before I actually started working there, I was like, why the hell do you need training to work in a coffee shop job, right? It's just like pouring cups of coffee, right? No. So honestly, I will probably always say this, but Big B Coffee is probably one of the most fast-paced, hard-working jobs I will probably ever have in my career of working. I had no idea how hard it was going to be and how like in-depth the training was before I started working there. And then when I started training, I was like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna remember all of these drinks, all of these flavors? Like, how am I gonna remember the flavor rules? You know, hot iced, frozen, cappuccino, latte, latticino, like how am I gonna remember any of this? But it came very easy to me. I mean, not at first, obviously. I was very new. I didn't know what the F I was doing. But it came really easy to me, and I absolutely fell in love with my job. And I was like, you know what? I think this is a good fit, and I am going to, you know, stay here for as long as I feel like I need to. And sure enough, 5.5 years I was there, and I absolutely loved it. My favorite position to do was shot pulling. If any of you have ever worked at a Big B before, or you've been inside of a Big B before, the person who stands there and pulls the espresso shots and like sets the drinks up, that was my all-time favorite position. Even my nickname at my job was the Ninja Cockroach because I'm very small and I could move really fast, and I was very, very fast at making drinks. Like I was so good on the line, and I'm not someone who typically toots my horn a lot about certain things, but the one thing that I will always toot my horn on is I was a very, very, very fast and very, very good shot puller. Like our specific store location is one of the top ones. We are one of the best ones as far as like numbers go and customer service, you know, things like that. So it was a really, really good job. Twice a year we would hold Big B birthday, which is basically like, there's two birthdays: the home office birthday, where Big B was founded back in 1995, and then we also had a store birthday. So for instance, our store, like Big B Coffee just turned 25, and our store turned 5 years old. So I was basically there the entire time that store has been open, basically. And it was honestly just such a great experience. I absolutely loved my job. There was a while there where I was doing a lot of closing shifts, and then there was a while where I was doing a lot of open shifts, and there was also a time when I was also assistant managing the store, where I was doing deposits, counting drawers, you know, shift leading, all that stuff, store leading. Experience for me, and I loved every minute of it. Now, don't get me wrong, I definitely had days at that job where I went home crying. There was an occasion where I actually walked off of a shift because I was so mad. So, I mean, I've had my rough days at my job, obviously, but for the most part, I absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved it. And some of you actually figured out where I worked, because sometimes people, like subscribers, would come through the drive-thru and they would be like, oh my god, it's BreeAnn Barbie. Like back when my YouTube name was BreeAnn Barbie, a lot of people would be like, oh my god, I can't believe you work here. And I'm like, yeah. So I mean, a lot of people, some people did figure it out, but for the most part, I kept my work life pretty damn private, and that's something I don't regret, because like I said, I just liked to keep that kind of thing private. And one thing that I have always wanted to share with you guys so bad, in the worst way, that I couldn't share because I wanted to keep it private, but I can openly share it now. And 5 years ago, October 27th of 2015, I was still kind of new to the job. Like I had only been there like, May, June, July, August. I was only there for 5 months. And back in that day, Big B home office would hold drink competitions. And what a drink competition is basically you would kind of invent and come up with a drink, and if you won, it would become a permanent drink within the Big B system. So I, being very new, you know, really starting to get into coffee, I was like, you know, I think I'm actually gonna try this. Like, I'm gonna take a stab at it, and I'm gonna come up with my own drink and submit it and see if it gets acknowledged. So back in the day, I was sitting in bed after work and I got the email that they were doing the drink competition, and I was like, okay, let's see. I really like chocolate, so I definitely wanted to have chocolate. And we were getting into, like, it was fall, it was Halloween, and I was like, what would be a really delicious, cozy fall latte? And I came up with a drink called the Sweater Weather back in the day, and it was chocolate, vanilla, and cinnamon. So 2 thins and a thick syrup. It was absolutely delicious, fucking delicious. And I submitted it, didn't hear anything, and then maybe a couple weeks later, my boss at the time called me in the back and she was like, so I have some really exciting news. Your drink that you submitted won. So, and I like couldn't believe it because I was still kind of new, you know, to the whole coffee thing, and I was like, shut the fuck up. Like, my drink won. Originally wanted to name it Sweater Weather because I thought it was very fitting for how the drink tasted and it was very fall-like, but I don't know, they ended up changing the name of the drink and they actually changed it to the Starry Skies Latte. And I actually kept all of the stuff, you know, saying that I won. So I actually received this certificate right here. You yourself like Big B coffee. If you want to try the drink that I created that is now a Big B menu item. Now, if you guys want to try it, go through and say, I would like to try a whatever size Starry Skies latte. And that is my drink that I created. And I was literally so flipping excited about it. I just wanted to scream from the rooftops that I won this contest, and I couldn't tell you guys about it because I was just so incredibly private. So that was something, you know, in the 5.5 years that I was there, that was something that I was really, really proud of. That was something that I was really excited about. So many cool things and awards and accomplishments that I accomplished at Big B from the 5.5 years that I was there. I made so many lifelong friends, even more amazing memories. I met my best friend at Big B, Christine. If you guys have seen her like on my Instagram or in my blogs or whatever, I actually met her at Big B, and over the last, I want to say maybe year or so, I kind of felt myself falling out of love with what I was doing, and it wasn't because of a specific situation, it wasn't because of any drama, it was nothing like that. I was really starting to focus on what I wanted to do for the rest of my life, what I wanted to do as far as my career went, and I knew that, you know, staying at Big B Coffee wasn't going to get me where I wanted to be in life, and also I knew that I always wanted to work with animals. So I basically was like, okay, I need to figure out like what the heck I'm gonna do with the rest of my life. And that's when I started looking into dog grooming, which you guys probably know by now, that has been a huge part of my life. So I really started putting all of my time, thought, and energy into dog grooming. I actually started school at the beginning of this year, and also another really big news, I did officially finally finish and graduate dog grooming school, so I am a licensed pet groomer. And once I finished school, I was like, okay, I cannot physically handle doing 3 jobs, because obviously I was doing YouTube, which I love, that's not going anywhere. That was never, ever, ever, ever on the chopping block. But I was like, I can't handle doing YouTube, I can't handle being a barista, and I can't handle dog grooming. Like, I am literally going to burn myself out and I'm going to break. So I need to start weighing out my options and what I love. I could either, you know, stay at a job, Big B Coffee, that I was very, very comfortable in, that I was very, very good at, that I had, you know, a pretty decent amount of seniority there, like, or you could follow your dreams and work with animals. And at the time when I was thinking about leaving my job, working with animals really, really kind of took the cake for me. So, oh gosh, like maybe 3 weeks ago, I was sitting in bed with my notebook and my pencil, and I wrote out my 2 weeks notice. You know, we had a good run here, but with everything else that I want to do in my life and possibly have a career, it's time to go. So I handed in my 2 weeks notice, which that was incredibly hard. I think it took me like 3 days to actually officially hand it in. And my last day was September 24th. That has been probably the biggest life change that I have made in 2020 for me personally, because, you know, for you guys, a minimum wage job, like, people come and go all the time, which is so true. I totally get that. But for me, I didn't even think about it as like a minimum wage job. It meant so much more to me than that. And it was just very difficult for me to leave. That is that. Moving on to the topic of school, like I just told you guys, I did officially graduate and finish dog grooming school. So that was another huge accomplishment for me. I need a mirror. In June, kind of like the middle of June, I started interning at a grooming salon, and I've been there for about 3 months now. And since I have finished school, I actually reached out to the groomer who was mentoring me. I reached out to her boss and I was like, hey, like, I finished school. I absolutely love this place. I love dog grooming, and I would love to be a part of the team. I would love to reach out to you guys and really, you know, make this a permanent thing. And that was a big step for me because I'm the kind of person where I despise change. I don't like change. It makes me very uncomfortable. And she was like, yes, I think that's a great idea, but we will have to go through an interview process. So I had 2 days a few weeks ago now where I had to do 2 full grooms on 2 different breeds for 2 days, from start to finish by myself, with absolutely no help, no asking questions, nothing like that. And I submitted the pictures and we had a sit-down interview, and on Monday I officially start my first day at the grooming salon as an employee. That's just so, like, fucking surreal, you guys. Like, you have no idea what a huge thing that is for me, because, you know, all my life I've always wanted to work with animals. You know, to actually say that I now work with animals and I get to make them beautiful and I get to make them smell nice and give them baths, and to now actually be paid as an employee for doing that, like, I am just through the moon. I am super excited, and I officially start Monday at my new job, which it doesn't really feel like a new job because I've been there the past 3 months, but now it's like an official job, you know, like I'm on payroll now. I literally went from leaving one job going directly into a new job, which I'm very excited about. I am a little bit nervous. I'm actually more nervous now that I'm getting paid for it than when I was interning, which is very weird, but yeah, I'm very excited. There's a lot of really good things happening. So those are all of the updates as far as like my job and career life goes. I'm sure some of you may be shocked. I know a lot of people that I told were shocked because, you know, I loved my job, but it's just, you know, it's time to go. Also, really quick, because I never really talked about this either because I never really took it seriously, but I've been really into it lately. I do have a TikTok account. Never really talked about it, but lately I have been on like a TikTok rampage. I do it all the time. It's something that I've really been into lately. So if you guys have a TikTok account and you want to follow me, I do a bunch of cool stuff on there. I do some funny stuff. I do some fun dances. I do some, like, I just did like a little like nail tutorial on my spooky Halloween nails. I did that on there. So there's a bunch of really cool stuff on there, and my dogs are on there. So if you guys want to follow me, here's my username. It is just BreeAnn X Marie, and I think I have like 21.3 thousand followers or something like that, which is fucking asinine because, I don't know, it's fucking TikTok, you know? Like, I also have a Instagram dedicated to all of my dog grooming stuff. Again, I am still new, but I do like to post a lot of like before and after pictures of a lot of the grooms that I do. So if you guys like dogs, which if you don't, what are you even doing on my channel? Like, get the fuck out. Grooming Instagram, which is just at Dog Grooming by BreeAnn. You guys can follow me on there too. I do upload on there as much as I can of just cute little doggies and their cute little haircuts. So I would appreciate it if you know, you guys checked it out and gave me a follow. I'm not at 1,000 followers yet, but I would like to be, so you should definitely like pause this video and go follow me. I have so many palettes out of like different orange colors, and my table looks so damn colorful because there's just like all these open palettes, and I'm just like, oh! That's another thing that I've been getting a lot of comments about, is how I have been acting in my YouTube videos, because I'm sure a lot of you have maybe noticed, or maybe you haven't noticed, but I'm kind of acting a little bit more goofy lately in my YouTube videos. And if you go way back to like my beginning YouTube journey, first of all, fucking cringe, like how it's so awkward. I literally cannot watch my old videos because it's just like, it's that new YouTuber awkwardness, you know, where it's just like, hey guys, today I'm gonna be like not looking at the camera or looking in the viewfinder too much or whatever. Yeah, can't watch my videos. But if you guys remember, I used to be like super like stickler in my videos. I was always taking it so seriously. I was never like cracking jokes. And that's the thing about me, is I'm actually like a super big weirdo. I have recently been, you know, trying to enjoy life more, because ever since my dad passed away, it really kind of hit me like how short life is, and I really wanted to show you guys a part of me in my YouTube videos that I just never really showed all that much. So I've just been trying to be more myself, more relaxed in my videos, more goofy, like making jokes, making funny faces. And you know, I think a lot of people maybe think I'm doing that for show or for like shock value, but to be perfectly honest with you, like I'm literally like, I'm just that weird ass person. Honestly, like I have been having so much more fun with YouTube doing it that way, just like being myself and being much more of a goofy person, I guess you could say. So for those of you who have been, you know, noticing that and appreciating that, I appreciate you for noticing. Because in other news, what else do I want to talk to you guys about? I have like a little list. Oh, let's talk about my doggos. So they're both doing really well. I know I haven't showed them recently or anything, but they're both doing absolutely excellent. Little baby Avril actually just turned 4 years old on September 21st, which is just absolutely insane balls, because it literally feels like just yesterday I brought her home as a brand new puppy, and now she's 4. What the F? Like, that is just insane. But yeah, so we just celebrated her 4th birthday, and Jackal had his 10th birthday June 20th. So both of my dogs are, you know, start to grow up. Jackal is also doing really well. If you guys remember, almost a year ago now, he was very, very sick, and he had to be hospitalized for a couple of days. It made a full recovery, thank goodness. Actually recently just had kind of another little health scare with him, I guess. I noticed, and I was finding accidents throughout my house. He didn't sleep in a crate. Avril still sleeps in a crate because I don't trust her, you know what I mean? So I keep her in a crate at night, which, you know, she doesn't mind. She's crate trained now. But Jackal, you know, I always let him sleep with me, or he slept in his bed right next to my bed. And I was noticing accidents all throughout my house, and I was like, what? And if you guys, like, you know, don't know, Jackal is probably one of the best potty trained dogs I have ever had and will probably ever have in my life. Like, he is so good about holding his potty. He always lets me know when he has to go. But I was finding all of these accidents, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, are you sick? Are you old? Like, is this like a string of incontinence? Like, what the hell is going on with you? So it started to get kind of out of hand, and I took him to the vet, and I was like, hey, I don't know if this is just an old age thing, but he's been having a lot of tinkle accidents during the nighttime. And so I had them do like a full blood panel of blood work on him to make sure that it wasn't his kidneys, or it wasn't diabetes, or his liver again, or anything like that. So I was like, yep, do the full workup, you know, make sure he's okay. And his blood work did come back normal. Thank you, Jesus, because that dog is literally my he's my heart and soul. Like, I was really glad that his blood work was fine, so they were just like, you know, it could just be an old man incontinence thing. And I also noticed, because I did actually get him a crate as well, so Jackal now sleeps in a crate at night as well, next to his sister. And I was noticing when I was putting him in the crate, and every morning when we would wake up, he was peeing on himself. And I was like, is his body not waking him up to go to the bathroom? Like, what the fuck is going on? So I never thought this day would come, but Jackal is officially in doggy diapers. He has to wear a diaper every single night now when he goes to sleep. Such a weird thing, because, you know, I rescued him and we think he was about, you know, 2 years old when I rescued him. And the fact that he is at that age now where, you know, his body just isn't waking him up to alert him that he needs to go to the bathroom, and now he has to sleep in diapers. Like, it's just so weird how, like, life works, you know what I mean? Like, other than that, both the dogs are doing absolutely amazing. Alright, so I did finish off the eyes off camera, and I also put some bronzer and blush on, but this eye look, I am obsessed. This is exactly what I wanted. This is exactly what I was going for. Some of you I know are gonna ask like what oranges I used, and they're all Jeffree Star. So if you don't like Jeffree Star, I'm just telling you right now, that's what I used. What's fucking new? And my favorite highlighter, I know I said I wasn't gonna talk about makeup, but we're almost done, so I figured I would just like plug a few of my favorite products, is the Jacqueline Cosmetics highlighter palette. This is the Flash. Oh Christ almighty, you guys, I fucking love this thing. Like, you could it's well loved. It is well loved. And I'm gonna be honest, I am not really the biggest fan of Jacqueline, but when she released this palette and I saw these highlighters, I was like, bitch. Like, I'm honestly surprised that I haven't hit pan yet, because I use these literally all the time. And I don't ever just use one specific shade. I literally take my brush and just like... Her lipsticks may have failed, but this highlighter palette, booch, she fucking nailed it. Okay, so the other thing that I wanted to update you guys on is my piercing. About a month ago now, I actually went and got my Medusa pierce, which has been my dream piercing. I did a whole video about it, talking about it, you know, the price, the pain. I showed a little bit of footage of me getting it. I showed footage of what the first week was like. If you haven't seen it, what the fuck are you doing? And then recently I uploaded a video of me actually changing the jewelry for the first time. The easiest fucking piercing I've ever had in my life. Like, so many people told me that, like, oh, the healing process is gnarly, like, you're gonna swell a lot and it's gonna hurt. And, you know, yeah, I did swell a lot on the second day, but literally ever since then, I have had absolutely no issues at all. I think the only, like, okay, I shouldn't say that. The only issue that I've, like, really had with it is when I did change it to the new jewelry. I did have a couple of days of nesting, which if you guys don't know what nesting is, I've only ever had it happen with lip piercings, because I feel like I had the same experience with Maya Monroe back in the day. But basically nesting is where once the jewelry kind of heals and it kind of, you know, picks and chooses where it's going to stay in the body, because the body realizes, oh, I can't push this out, so we're going to kind of adapt. So typically when that happens, like, the underneath part behind the back plate got pretty sore. There was like a huge ring around it. That's just typically called nesting. It's basically just the jewelry kind of getting settled in the spot that it's going to be. That only happened for a couple of days, and it's literally been golden ever since. So seriously, such a good experience, such an easy piercing. I absolutely love it. The other thing that I wanted to update you guys on, and I literally just thought of it because it's itching like a bitch, but that is my sleeve. I recently, about a week ago actually, I went and got my sleeve finished. I say finished because yes, technically it is done, but I don't know what the future is gonna hold. I don't know if I'm gonna do something with this area. I don't know if I'm gonna add a little tiny more in the ditch. Yeah, so yes, my sleeve is officially finished. I did post pictures of it on my Instagram, but I do plan, and I said this many years ago, I do plan on doing a video talking all about my sleeve, my whole arm sleeve, like from the very, very tippy top all the way down to the bottom. I have all the notes out, I have prices, I have how long I've been working on it, who I went to, all of the nitty-gritty details all about getting a sleeve. I do plan on doing a video on. If you guys, you know, want to see that, please confirm it down below. I haven't filmed it yet because it is still definitely healing. There are some spots that are still peeling, it's really itchy, and it's in that like shiny stage where it doesn't really look that great yet. So I even got my elbow tattooed. Like, you see that? This is my elbow bone. I got that shit tattooed, so we're gonna talk all about that, because if you guys remember, that part of my elbow right here, this whole section, was empty, and I purposely left it empty because I was so damn petrified of getting my elbow tattooed. Well, I finally bit the bullet and got it done, so we're gonna talk literally about everything. That is everything that I have for my life update video. I know this video was probably super long, and I know I talked a lot throughout it, but I feel so good that I was finally able to sit down and talk to you guys about all of the life changes that I've been making as far as like my job goes and my career goes. My new piercing, finishing my sleeve. Like, it's been, even though it's been like a really rough year, especially for a lot of people, at the same time for me personally, it's also been a very good year. Like, I've had a lot of really cool and exciting things happen, and if you guys remember when I did my 2020 goals video, I've accomplished a lot of my goals. So I mean, I think 2020 has been a pretty good year, all things considered. Really hope that you guys enjoyed watching me, you know, do my makeup, turning myself into a pumpkin. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this life update video. If you guys watched all the way through to the very, very end, I want you to go down and leave a comment saying pumpkin. That way I know that my true people out there actually sit through and watch all, like, my videos all the way through. So make sure if you're watching this now and you watched all the way through, leave a comment that says pumpkin. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, don't forget to go down and give this video a huge thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it, and it really does help my channel a lot, which is, you know, a good thing because I love doing this and I want to keep doing this. So make sure you thumbs up, share, subscribe, comment, all of that stuff. Also, if you are new to my channel and this is the first video of mine that you are seeing, make sure you go down and hit that red subscribe button. You and I can get to know each other a little bit more. I do upload every 3 to 4 days on this channel. As for the rest of you, I love you guys so, so much. Thank you again so much for watching. This was a very bittersweet video for me to make, so I appreciate you hanging out with me and being here for me today. But I'm gonna go film some other videos, and I will see you guys very soon in my next one. I love you guys